Welcome to Game Woven, a collaborative storytelling collective building the world one game at a time. This week, we will be playing Hearts of Magic, Threads Untangled by Erica Shepard. If you like what we're doing here, you can follow us on Twitter at GameWoven, where you can join our Discord. And check out our Patreon at patreon.com/GameWoven.
Previously on the Game Woven podcast, there was a chase, there was a battle. Maeve's assistance ensured that Circum would reach his safe house, an abandoned waterfront theater, in time to spring a trap on Urstella. Maeve's assistance also ensured that Urstella's fall from a third-story balcony would be less painful than the question he left in Circum's mind. Why would anyone need to fear a man who runs? It was Lena's assistance, however, which allowed Circum to withstand Nockwith's onslaught of divine sunlight just long enough for the midshipman to burn himself out. As fire begins to spread through the waterfront, Maeve seeks a decision. Urstella seeks an opportunity to strike. Circum seeks his next victim, and Nockwith seeks nothing. He is dead. So join us for a pleasant walk, a final quiet moment in advance of our final act.
Back into the game. So, Claudia Sorg and Lena Ramses, we're going to be doing a game we've already played, Stealing Time Together. So this is going to be while we are walking to where I know Circumsuri is headed, in a way that I know should have zero looky-loos and eavesdroppers.
Yeah. And we've established you know more about me than I know about you, and you also know that I just offered my magic to protect you.
I did. First, actually, before I get into character, what's a, not a, major family secret, but, what's a thing that only your family know? Your father had, a minor illness 5 years ago that we didn't make public, but he got over it and was fine. What's, a minor secret like that you wouldn't expect a person to know?
I feel like the magic she and her family deal in can be tricky sometimes, so sometimes it has weird side effects. So maybe she tried messing with it when she was little and had a weird magic sickness for about a year or so before it wore off and got back to normal, but there's just weird things would happen around her. The family kept it very quiet. They said there was another illness kind of going around, so she kind of played off it's just the fever, she'll be fine. Ignore the weird chicken noises coming from up at her room. She's somehow summoning them again. It's fine.
Lady Ramses, I wanted to make sure your magical fever hasn't returned at any point, has it?
She just gives you this curious look. No, it hasn't. Thank you for your concern.
Of course. The Lord Vance, how familiar are you with him and his family's dealings?
I know that they are often not what they appear to be, but as you can probably guess, not many people know what's really going on in their little minds. They tend to be very goal-oriented and can be a bit short-sighted at times. They can be useful allies, but difficult to trust when you don't know if they have another idea in their head.
Of course, and their information network is unparalleled, really.
It would seem so.
We make the first advance, and I touch your hand. So we're walking right, very properly. I imagine your arm is in mine, and I go to touch your hand. May I?
course, though I am curious. What's your goal here? We are going into a rather unseen part of town. A lot of interesting things going on. And you seem to know more about me than I know about you.
You, I think, have had conversations with people enough in court to tell when someone is getting ready to confess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Van's family has long been gifted with powers over shadow, darkness, and that extends as well to their servants to a degree. Their most trusted spies train underneath only the moon so that their magic becomes so in tune with the night that they could slip into the space of just a person's shadow. These people who can live without seeing the sun, they're given a code name, Luna, and then a number of which in the sequence they are. And if I'm being honest with you, Lady Ramses, I have only been known as Claudius York for a short period of time, as I was, of course, known for most of my life as Luna 1.
Holy shit, that's not a reaction button.
What the fuck?
Yeah, she's obviously shocked by this, but just... I imagine you know a great deal of fascinating things. Though I'm curious how you were able to get out of that.
I left.
Don't imagine that's something easy to slip out of.
Well, the consolation is that I was given every tool a person could need to change my identity and go where people would never find me.
Useful ability.
If you couldn't piece it together, I was assigned to the Ramses family for a very long time.
This doesn't surprise me, and certainly explains how you know about that little incident. I hope you can keep certain things from coming to light more than they already have.
If I'm honest, that power lies more in the Vance family hands than my own at this point. My reports were always extensive.
Yep, that explains. Which family member, who were you attached to?
So many. Whoever was the most important.
Whichever one the Vances thought was the most important?
Nuts.
Okay, good. Didn't have too many secrets that got out then.
It's like a, you think so, look.
At least, not the important ones.
I fled to her net for a while after leaving my position. What happened? The Queen, this magic, and the Empire, it all happened at once, and one of these things I can wrap my head around, can make sense of. All three of these things happening at once, I, for the first time, find myself at a loss.
I think at this point, she pauses and goes like she wants to. She pulls her arm away and then goes to rest her hand on your shoulder in a comforting gesture. May I?
You may. If I'm being honest, the way I was raised to understand power, though the way of being one of the Lunas, and it's very impersonal, calculating, and the only flaw in my assignment was in staying by your family for so long and seeing how you operate, I saw how much I disagree, if you take my meaning.
I understand. With my family and the way we operate, we think more long term than most people, and I mean, understand that the queen was taken. Well, at least that's my assumption. Ernest fell because their queen was ousted. The ley line moving. I haven't found an explanation for that I can confirm is accurate, but this feels like a culmination of things that have been set in motion for a long time by different people. And there's always things like that going on. The fact that these all happened around the same time is interesting, but it provides a great chance for change to make some things better, leave room for other things to grow, get rid of things that stifle everything, stifle creativity. Keep people from having a chance to make the world better, enact change. Things are rarely as simple as they seem, but if you wait long enough, it eventually starts to fall into place.
What are you trying to change the city into? These vampires, doesn't it end with Circum? If you don't want them here, we'll take something to keep them out. And if you do, it will take something to keep them from grinding us all to dust. I was volunteered into service, and it has taken all my knowledge of espionage being more than just a simple tool.
There's a few ways that things could work out. I don't want the Undying Empire to continue as it has, but I know that all-out war with them is not an option that anyone's going to benefit from, especially since they got the Brazen. I'd like to think that there's a way that they will not be forever as they claim to be. She's saying this softer, so only you can hear it because she's not as aware that there are no prying ears. People just have to not give up. I have some plans in place. The Empire's been spreading for a while, so my family, we figured, go ahead and start laying the groundwork, so whenever things started going south, we could have options for how to deal with it. Hoping we can stop them from descending en masse into Shaumere. Assuming that your boss is able to get out of his current predicament with your former boss trying to kill him. No, I gave him the same offer I gave you and he accepted it. I don't know if he fully understands what goes into deals, but
I can assure you he doesn't.
you're probably the only one in this city that knows how the Ramses family works.
Exactly how it works. I'm gonna make the third and final advance here. I go and move to put my hand on your cheek. May I?
She allows you and then she goes to do the same.
Take it from a born follower. Whatever plan you have, whatever possible eventuality you've thought of, I think it needs to happen tonight. And whatever you decide, I will be by your side. And he whispers that into your ear. I think that's a good place to fade to black, unless you want to have the last word.
I think her response is, I have some ideas of things that could happen tonight, but I do need a little bit more information about how your hierarchy works in the Empire. I fade to black. She needs to basically what line of succession? How do things work? Because I don't think she's gotten as good of information as she can get from you. Also, unexpected power couple.
I mean, we all know that Claudius is the type to give up some good, sweet information after some intimate fade to black time.
The benefit of sleeping with Claudius is not only is he good in bed, but he also has the juiciest pillow talk.
Just the hottest.
The hottest
gossip.
goss.
Like, y'all lay down and, like, got the sheets half up, right? Because it's PG-13, right? They're up on your chest. And then he lays down and he's immediately like, so let me tell you what's up.
Oh, yeah. These two are going to be dangerous together. Hell yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, okay, so what's fun is we get that fade to black, but then all of a sudden the light just explodes back up again because you're walking into a part of town that is on fire, and then there's a big explosion of light, which is very fun.
I imagine we wrap up the conversation, walk into that.
Whoa.
What the fuck?
So the thing that I was thinking about, right, that could have happened, because I wasn't sure how loyal Claudius still was to the Vance family, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a thing that crossed my mind, I'm like, this could be a thing, was I was waiting for Claudius to just, like, kill Lena to break the barrier. So Knockwith could kill Circum.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be juicy. First of all, I don't know necessarily how the barrier is going.
No, you're
But
right.
also-
But that was a thing in the back of my mind. I'm like, this is like timeline that this goes down.
There is a version of this scene where he touches her cheek, she
Yeah.
touches it back, and then he
Sinks the
stabs her in
dagger.
fucking
Yeah. No, I honestly, I think right now for Claudius, it's like, if he feels the Vance family doesn't have a good enough plan for what comes after assassinating Circumsary, and he, maybe because he's a little blinded, or maybe just because of what he's seen, thinks that Lena does. That's just where he's at.
I want to
Yeah,
add
that-
a small thing
Mhm.
before we continue on with that conversation where you're telling me about the Undying Empire. Is I go to kiss you on the forehead and there's like this spark of magic. It's like something that'll protect you from breaking any deals you made with the Vances, because they were never very good at deals to begin with.
Rude.
Basically, you're now under my
All right.
protection.
A nice little insurance policy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's time for a free-for-all.
Yep.
Everyone plays. Everyone's characters meet with or without their soldiers to do battle. So how this is going to work is basically we're going to go around the table and you choose a partner. It's basically going to be like the Magic Challenge where you give each person a challenge. So you choose an enemy player's character and give them a challenge. They answer it freely. When everyone's had 2 turns to make challenges, it's come back around to you for your 3rd turn. Choose an end to the battle. Choose one that best fits the action up to that point. After the free-for-all, remind everyone that if the battle has left them with unfinished business, a grudge, or a real tactical objective, they should bring it into their next game. So, I think that either Maeve or Stella are the best people to start this free-for-all.
Do you have a preference, Faye? You are the guest.
Also, remember, no one picked me because I'm dead.
You're unconscious. You're not dead yet.
Oh, I'm dead. But
Oh.
I am going to take a turn, though, when it is.
I can be sad with your corpse.
Oh, I can do
Face
things
like
with your
that.
corpse.
Circum could also be a good person to start us off if you were feeling sad. Do you have a good starter?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I want to say, in terms of setting the scene visually, I think when the light like flashes and then goes out, I think Maeve is around. I don't think Maeve's like up in there. I don't think she has any idea of like what's really going on, whatever. But I think that she sees that there's a fucking building on fire, and so I think that a storm is brewing. and so there's flashing light from like higher above, and it's a very different like color or like hue of light. It's a very
we get a flash of sunlight and a flash of lightning.
Yeah, exactly. And so that would go out, and then it'd be like, and so it just starts thundering and raining, particularly on the building as this game begins.
Okay, yeah, Zed, you got a challenge for somebody?
I do. So, Urstella, you see the body of Nockwith, the last of the sunlight that you shared with him, fading away as his corpse falls out of the window.
Mm-hmm.
There is a flash of lightning and it begins to rain, and then all of a sudden, flying faster than you could possibly imagine out of the darkness, I strike from above, dropping from a building. Do you survive my attack? And how?
No, I for sure live. You know, I see you coming, and you're all fucked up from fighting my good boy Nock.
Oh, yeah. The cassock thing that he's been wearing burnt away in so many different places. It's like the seams are blown out from the infusion of blood. He looks bad. And he just, like, flies directly at your face.
I sacrifice a Luna out of nowhere. Just human shield.
Oh, just wait until all your spies see your first spy.
You just summon up a shadow dude.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Yeah, I think, like, I barrel into him and, like, roll and I think just, like, kind of savage the body, bash it against a wall, and throw it away and turn back towards you. And to that, we pass on to somebody else's turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it honestly will work out if we go counterclockwise. So, Bree, I think at this point, we see Circumsuri leaping out of the building, right? We see the lightning storm.
So, I'm gonna say Lena, before she acts, will look to Claudius. I think with your old boss out of the way, you could help him take over his network. After you just saw him sacrifice one of your brethren with, like, no issues.
With the two of us combined, who's to say all things aren't possible?
Knew I liked you. Blocks away, I've already a spell. I can launch it at you, striking your head, your heart, or your back. I feel like maybe you can't see us right now. Like maybe we've come from behind, so we can see that Circum is going after you.
Hmm.
So I just launch basically like a very concentrated ball of electricity straight towards your back. Do you avoid my shot? How?
I mean, I feel like that I don't have a way to dodge that, right? Unless I don't know how many Lunas I have. So like, I can't just keep throwing bodies at the problem.
I mean, just because you get hit doesn't mean you're dead.
Yeah.
It is your character. You have control of the narrative to say whatever happens.
I will also say, Lena's not trying to kill, more of just like incapacitate, because she's...
Yeah, I mean, though I will say, incapacitating anyone in front of Circum right now is death.
Yeah, no, 100%.
There is a whole ass vampire man.
Can I see that Maeve is like in the area?
I think we might have a clue with the thunderstorm, but I think Maeve's biggest advantage right now is that she is out of sight, out of mind.
The only person that knows that I'm anywhere nearby is Circum.
That's true. Yeah.
For this, I think I get hit.
Yeah, so as you're facing against very angry vampire, you just feel like your body locks up and you can't move.
Very cool.
It'll wear off.
Uh-huh.
Just for a moment.
Yeah, Vance is just like not having a good time tonight, I think.
That's what happens when you just try and murk a vampire in front of a crowd of people.
Hey, look, I'm not the one who turned off the lights. I still don't know who did that.
Maeve did. All right. So, tabletop, Benjamin?
Tabletop, Benjamin.
Tabletop, Benjamin. Maeve is going next, right?
Live your life, man.
Maeve, I unleash one of my most powerful spells against you. Can you take it, and how? Now, I, Knockwith, am dead. So I am going to use the power of magic to move you. Knockwith is dead. Knockwith has died. Maeve did not see Knockwith die. Maeve has not seen Knockwith for decades. Maeve, approaching the battlefield, has started a storm. There's lightning, which is super convenient because as Knockwith's body starts to deteriorate and literally like rapidly decay, crumble into autumnal leaves and stuff that drift away in the wind and the storm, one little leaf, brown and starting to crumble, lands at Maeve's feet and then is hit by lightning. And it becomes a piece of fulgurite.
That's fucking cool.
Oh, I know what you're gonna do with that.
Maeve, do you pick up the fulgurite?
Ooh. I think that Maeve... She doesn't really know what has been happening and doesn't really know the full weight of how it would impact her personally. So has been pretty, like, generally removed from what's going on. I think that upon seeing this, obviously a lot of memories would come flooding back, and she does pick it up. She just kind of holds it and, like, kind of, like, is, like, sort of, like, growing, like, a little white knuckly around it.
All it says, with the sensation, there's a sensation attached to the message, an urge to pick a side, and the urge you can tell is from Knockwith, because Knockwith was an idealist. He was like, we got to do it, we can't be neutral, we got to pick a side, we got to go for it, like, we got to do this. And you can tell it's from him. It is his, like, last thoughts, and the urge is pick a side and own it. And the message is simply, if we are parted, the seas shall bring us together again.
Oh, no.
Is Maeve about to lose her shit?
And that's it. That's the only action I'm taking during the free-for-all, because I died.
Oh, fuck, man.
Hey, Maeve, what do you want to do? You can pass and come back to you if you need a moment.
Yeah, I think I want to see what Urstella does first.
All right.
Also, I feel like it's not hard to do the math of who did that.
Sure, and, like, it's obvious to assume, like, well, Circum went into this room, Urstella is on the ground, Knockwith, who she didn't know was there, you know, is there now. But here's the thing, this is a very complicated situation for her because she has spent a very long time being very, very fucking pissed off at Knockwith. Because he just, like, abandoned her. Like, from her perspective, he just fucked off and never rectified that. And so she's like, what has led us to here and why and what's happening, and, like, there's a lot of fifis. I need to think about that.
It's a
Fair.
lot to not.
Might also see Lena and Claudius basically holding hands after Lena just zapped Vance.
Interesting choices.
Wait a second, are they
both of
holding
my
hands
exes are
while they're
together now?
lobbing
That's
spells at
weird.
Urstella? Like they're feeding the ducks? They're like holding hands like, oh, I'm gonna hit him with this one.
like, oh,
Bam.
Do you not make out while sniping your cousin or whatever?
I mean, that doesn't have to be where that's at right now, but perhaps in the epilogue, it's just more of a let's do this thing. Also, now if one of Vance's spies tries to kidnap you back into a shadow, we'll know.
I think because Urstella has been shocked think I will take my
I
turn.
actually do have a thing.
Oh, go ahead then.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I love it.
The last one is just I do blank. Can you survive it? Maeve or Stella, who is barely who isn't standing anymore. He got in a chase across the city, is tired, fell off a roof, watched his maybe friend, we never made it clear, at least partner, guy he worked with die, and he got shot in the back by someone, I don't know. He doesn't look good, but he does see you struggling with the Fulgurite. And one, he hung out with, not with, and he's a spy. He knows your history.
That's his power.
That was the magic all along.
I don't even know if this is true. Like, I don't think Stella cares if it's true, but he does say, looks at you looking conflicted and says, he never stopped loving you.
Ugh.
Ooh.
Hear Lena fake gagging back in the corner. Ugh.
Help him finish what he started. How do you survive that?
Bro! I like how everyone was like, we could do magic, we could stab each other a little bit, and everyone was like, what if I threw emotional trauma at you?
Uh-huh.
How do you handle
Yeah,
that?
no, like, see, Ursula just saw the opportunity to pile on and maybe get you to do something helpful. That's it.
Alright, okay.
Look, if he can convince you Circum killed the guy who was like your true love or whatever, then he's down.
Do you want one more action to be in the Fifis before you react, or do you want to take your turn now?
It so depends on what you're doing. You know what? No, it's fine. Go. You go. I'm thinking.
So, I was told to go finish off my boss, but I see him kind of helpless in this moment.
That wasn't a direct order.
No, I
was just
exactly.
one of those, hey, so if Arstella dies, because Lena's like, I don't know how this is going to go. I'm just trying to make sure, like, something is salvageable from this shit show.
Yeah, but I'm going to say circumsuri.
Mm-hmm.
I rush you,
Okay.
weapon swinging. I'm faster than you'd believe. Can you react in time and get away? How? And I'm going to say, my weapon. So I was trained in darkness, right, in shadow to like hide. But in the time that I've been away, I've shifted that. The dagger I wield is not a dagger of darkness or night, is a dagger of void. The opposite of matter is just like I am basically wielding a small piece of unreality.
Okay.
I will unmake you.
As a side note, I have an interesting idea if we could piggyback off of each other's turns.
I can't wait for that to happen.
I was gonna say there's also I hold back but direct my allies against you helping them from behind with the spell, but it's technically not my turn, and I didn't directly say, hey, we should go kill the vampire.
But the first important question is, can you react in time and get away?
No. You get Circum somewhere that's non-vital, because I'm not getting away, I'm going in. It's go time, baby. So, you get a lick in, and you get clobbered.
Yeah, I do.
This sure is on you now, isn't it?
That was the calculation that Claudius made. But yeah, it's very much like, and like, it's like a tiny ass shiv. Like, this is a tiny piece of magic that I'm holding, but it's very much like cuts and like that just is just gone, is what I imagine of that small section of you. All right.
I have a response to that, actually. It's because Circum owes me, and he just hurt someone that's under my protection.
I think that's a great move to make right after Maeve does her thing.
Yeah.
This is fascinating. Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay, so the thing that I want to do, I feel like it's a bad idea, but...
Do it.
Yeah.
That means it's a great idea. That
That's-
means it's dramatic.
Fast.
You're a guest. Whatever bullshit you leave in your wake, you don't have to deal with it.
That's true. I have two things that I kind of want to do almost in tandem, but I don't know. Okay. I'm going to kind of tweak one of the challenges if that's okay.
Please, yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. This is to Circum. I am going to heave you bodily away from everyone. And instead of it being like a, are you able to get out of my grip situation, I'm going to pose the question of, will you take her advice, essentially? Because she, upon seeing all of this, and seeing Urstella, and seeing the way that everyone's reacted to everything, and Claudius coming in and, like, really going ham on Circum, I think that, honestly, what this is showing Maeve is that the lords and the ladies in particular are very impulsive. They're not thinking about the repercussions of their actions, which ultimately means for Maeve that is unreliable and probably going to get her people killed.
Oh yeah, definitely. You're the cause.
Valid in this situation.
As the building that you're right next to burns, the
Yeah.
apartment building across the street from the old theater where you grew up performing.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, Lita is trying to de-escalate, but valid based on what you're seeing.
And yeah, and I mean, like, seeing, like, bursts of light result in flame and, like, whatever, you know, like, she knows at the very least that light didn't come from Circum.
No.
She doesn't know anything else about that, though. Yeah, so she lifts you up and pulls you and wants to make the rain really start fucking pouring down, like, even maybe start hailing in the alleyway. To obscure them visually and almost make this separation between the two. And just look at Circum and go, this behavior doesn't seem becoming for a man of your station.
Ooh.
Ooh.
God, while being lifted up. Shit.
I imagine like it's being lifted up from beneath, but you're essentially being scruffed.
As Maeve tops you, what do you do?
Is that stronger than toxic masculinity? Fuck.
Ooh.
She also would say something to the effect of, if you die now, that is inconvenient for me. And basically, like, you didn't think that I'd let you get out of entertaining me for an evening that easily, did you?
Circum looks down, and it is just so much like that. It is the same look as when you switched into the dance earlier. That, like, ah, shit, I am outmatched, and I love this. He smiles, and he's smiled more than a few times. This is the first time there's any amount of pleasantness to it. And then the edges turn just the tiniest bit bitter as he says, yes, of course. Quite unbecoming. And he reaches into his shirt. He pulls out a brass whistle, and he blows it. And at the far end of the street, where we can't see, but stepping out of an alleyway, there's one man and one woman. They're both extremely built. They look fairly common. They do not appear armed until they take a few steps into the street, coming up directly to either side of Lena, and then a spear and a shield appears in one's hand, and the other is suddenly holding a gladius in one sword and a small axe in the other. I hold back, but I direct my allies against you, helping them from behind with a spell. That spell is all of the remaining thralls that I have pour into the streets and just start making chaos. Because, yeah, sure, I owe you a favor. The 2 brazen that I've sicked on you do not.
She made no move to attack you. I mean, Claudius did, but... As this happens, Lena shouts something in, like, it's a coded language that her family uses, because she knows Claudius will understand it. So she just shouts this random phrase that you'll recognize me. Get out. Hide. I'll find you later.
How do you manage to not get stabbed?
Hands up. Not making any threatening movements. Stays calm. I'm still, but does say a random phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Not a threat, just trying to help contain the conversation, just kind of starts talking and slips it in there.
Right.
Hoping that Claudius will get it.
Yeah, technically all she's done is attacked the person trying to kill Surfaceray, so...
Yeah,
Right.
I did disable the last person that tried to kill you. I have not made any moves towards you, and now I'm just speaking occasional gibberish, hoping that Claudius gets it, because I just made a friend, and they're potentially a very usable ally. Also, I kind of feel bad for them in just their entire life, so I'm like, I want you to not die, please.
I don't know, man. I think their life is pretty cool.
I would be a little bit more worried about you. You're not under arrest, you're not being detained. How do you not get stabbed? The one with the spear throws their spear at you, while the other one, who's holding the sword and the axe, start circling around the other way to cover the exit.
Got magic, baby.
Magic.
vanishes.
Tell us about it.
Baby.
Just
So
vanishes.
you're out. You're out.
Yeah.
Just a clarification, just because I'm curious. Is that teleportation or are you going invisible? I'm fine either way. I'm just curious.
Do you finish an agreement saying, I will attend this dinner, and you accept the agreement, and that takes you to the dinner?
I love that.
That's your, like, teleport?
They start moving, and she's like, sorry, late for an engagement, and she's just gone.
That's fantastic.
Picture she started to, like, step back to, like, kind of dance out of the way, and then you saw the magic kicking in before she said that, and it just finishes.
So anyways, now we got 2 brazen, like the spear flies just across the street and like thuds into the wall of the building. Obviously the one with the shields reaches a hand out and the spear is recalled. And now they're moving in the direction of...
God damn, I love Brazen so much. Oh my god.
Brazen are so fucking.
And also,
cool.
let's just put it out there, where the spear impacts, the whole wall, like, crumbles. It's not just like a spear hits. The, like,
Yeah.
spear, like, crumples the wall of the building.
Right, like there's a crater there.
Well,
Yeah,
actually, clarification question. Did you tell Lena if you still have your shadow powers or not? Like, can you still do that? Does she know if you can still do that?
So I think that while I was taught it's something that I would have to have given up to leave at all. I feel like it's something that they would be able to figure out how to, like, trace or identify from a distance. So
Okay.
my new powers are my, like, well, I knew one kind of magic, but I can't do that anymore. Let's
Cool.
figure something new out.
Second she gets there, she's securing you an invitation to this dinner party. So hopefully when it gets, like, hopefully have some time before you get murdered. Because it would be a little bit broken if I bamfed you out too.
Well, yeah, and you're out of the free-for-all for now.
Yeah.
So, Maeve, technically, if we're going around in our circle, it's up to you.
Me again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which does also feel apt. You have kind of the initiative, it
I've
feels
shifted
like.
the battlefield
A lot.
because I think that this is sort of fitting, and already what she's doing, I rain a barrage of missiles, magic or mundane, they're magical, down on you out of nowhere. Can you escape them? And I'm gonna say that is going to Urstella. To be fair, I don't actually think that Maeve is necessarily trying to kill you with this, but she's very much so being like, test me, motherfucker.
This is like trying to drive Urstella away.
Trying to get everyone like, I have made a wall. I dare you to cross it.
Mm.
And so she says, I rain a barrage of missiles, magic or mundane, down on you out of nowhere. Can you escape them? And how?
Why does everyone hate me?
I don't hate you. If I hated you, you'd be dead.
Look, I came out here to kill a vampire. And everyone's like, oh no, what are you doing?
You don't understand the hell that will be brought down on our heads by the Undying Empire, which isn't paying a whole lot of attention to us comparatively. If you kill this guy.
Yeah, and if you think Circum's a pain in the ass, what about Circum's boss?
Oh, I've got really bad news for y'all.
Look, someone jumped the gun. We gotta start the assassination. I'd love to know who did that later on. So someone ruined this whole thing. I love it.
It got ruined because he wasn't supposed to know about your sun powers and you got dragged in. You're like, you're like, well, shit.
Uh-huh. That's what I've been going with.
Yeah.
Is that it was like, it was released too early? You were like, oh, fuck. The door's opened.
So, Urstella, you have this rain of missiles. I think you'll also notice, like, if you look back down the street, the Brazen are definitely they're definitely moving towards York and not you. What's your play here?
I mean, hey, whoever's over there shot me in the ass, so like, fuck that guy.
There's no one over there anymore. Just Brazen.
Good. That means Brazen killed them. Good for me. Obviously, whoever's over there is a dick. No offense.
I was trying to de-escalate the situation.
I ultimately attacking Urstella.
I understand.
I was gonna try and back Circum down next, but I felt like Urstella's slightly more loose cannon than Circum.
To be clear, I'm not giving Bree shit right now. You're good. You're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am, but...
I honestly feel like Lena does not have a very high opinion of Urstella.
What do you mean? He just... Well, actually, no. You've probably never seen him not being an ass, huh?
Yeah, your whole entire thing is that you're like, I'm gonna pretend to be a bumbling drunk fool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
also,
for sure.
you just throw your followers into the line of fire for death.
Yeah, Jesus. No loyalty from this fucking guy.
I remember when he said I named them all Luna, so I don't have to be sad when they die.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah?
Urstella, you know, I mean, I think it's less that I'm telling the Lunas to die for me, and the more that the Lunas are choosing to die for me. So maybe one will like get in the way, push me out of the way or something. But either way, I think another Luna's getting fucked up. And you know what? That's fine.
Are you withdrawing, or are you like so that's the question, is that like my intention, or I guess Maeve's
is to make me
intention
withdraw, yeah.
is to make you withdraw specifically.
I will answer that on my turn, but for now I think I'm just holding my ground.
Well, it is your turn.
Oh, it is my turn. Okay, cool. Then I guess I'm just gonna fucking throw the rest of the Lunas, however many there are, more as a distraction so I can live to fuck you up another day.
She's literally giving you that opportunity. That's the whole. She's
Yeah,
like, no, run.
true.
You will die. Like,
Yeah.
if you go through this wall right now, Maeve will probably kill you, or at the very least, she will not stop someone from killing you.
Yeah.
This is her being like, this is your out, bro. Take it.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna, as I go, I'm gonna call it to Maeve and just, you made the wrong call today.
Guess we'll find out.
I just see, like, is Knockwitz's body on your side of the wall or on mine?
It fell into the street.
And then dissolved into leaves. There's no corpse.
No body. Okay, cool.
The only thing that's left of him basically is this full right that I've been given, and I chose a side. So.
Gotcha. Just double checking. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna bounce.
Yep. That's fair. All right.
Just with that, like, snipe at Maeve as I leave. Knockwith died to kill him, and you're not killing him.
Knockwith continues to make bad decisions.
True.
So
So, Maeve, I march on you steadily, shrugging off any attacks you throw at me.
I told you to run.
I know what you told me. So, I don't move to attack you. All I do is any things that Circum does to, like, kill me, I'm dodging. I am basically locked eyes with you and approaching. I understand. But it doesn't get any better than him. We have this one chance. But if this is what you choose, you're gonna have to kill me yourself. Thank you for listening to Game Woven. Please give us a follow on Twitter at GameWoven, join the Discord, support the Patreon, and consider leaving us a review on your favorite podcasting platform. This week's episode featured Faye Morel at Mendari, Mendarii, on Twitch and Twitter.